famous Ohio State Buckeyes.
We might be in a situation where we have a superstar coach on our hands, kind of like how we did with Brian Hartline.
So right from the jump, make sure they understand they're playing somebody different tonight. They're playing the Buckeyes. They're playing the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Being the Buckeye, there's nothing better, bro.
Example, when things get hard in life, you just keep swinging as hard as you can to fight. That's our culture.
I promised you we had a plan. Remember that we talked about a plan? The plan was infallible. Part of that infallible plan is getting the team prepared, ready to go, so we start practice. Our coaches know what we got. And there's not one person in America I trusted more than Coach Mick and that staff. Think about this. 130 teams either today, they report, or they've already reported. 130. 16 weeks from now, there's going to be one champion. One champion in our conference, one champion on the side of our conference. And in the country, one team's going to do this. Not 36, not 48, not 44, one. That tells you how hard it is to be a champion. To do right all the time. To know your assignments. To have 11 guys play hard on every staff. That's hard. That's why there's one. I want a hungry team. I want a hungry team. I want a team that can't wait to get out there. Where there's a bunch of players that maybe, whenever you're a new coaching staff, you haven't played much, maybe you're trying to make a name for yourself, you're a hungry football player. I want a hungry team. And last one, most importantly, I've got to coach a few of them. I want an angry team. I want a pissed off football team. I want a team that has a little chip on their shoulder. Maybe something's been taken from you. Maybe something hasn't. Maybe something's been taken from you. Are you a team that's going to go get it? You're the Ohio State Buckeyes. You're an angry football team. You got an angry staff. You got a bunch of guys that are getting ready to start a journey. We're starting that journey tomorrow at 5 a.m. You're a hungry football team, and I'm proud to be your coach. There's a plan in place, right?
Welcome to the world famous Buckeye Show, hosted by your boy Cleveland Mike and your guy Garrison is gonna be my co-host for the day. What's going on, Garrison?
Not much, man. Not much. A lot to get to. A lot of good football talk. I almost forgot there was a press conference today. Shout out to Brian Day for always being available. But yeah, man, it's been good though. Yourself?
Facts, man. Just doing good. Kids are at dance practice right now. It was Bring a Friend or whatever, which enters my daughter into a raffle. So my son likes hip hop, so he's gonna probably try to get into a hip hop. So yeah, that'll be fun for them. But myself and you were talking off air about maybe some changes and me and you teaming up and bringing the people more content right here on the Voice of College Football Ohio State channel, man. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
So everybody, make sure that you guys stay tuned on that, man.
I'm excited about it. You brought that to you brought that to me, and I was like, yeah, I'm fully with that, bro. I'm fully with that. Can't wait to do it. Can't wait for everybody else to see it. It's gonna be it's gonna be fun, especially the new idea you had. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, facts, man. I'm very excited about it, man. But everybody that's here, while you are here, go ahead, make sure you hit that like button. If you're watching on X, make sure you hit that retweet button as well. We appreciate everybody in here. Just helps our channel grow as well. And if you are watching on YouTube, hit that like, throw them comments in there. Also hit the live chat up. That's how you get up in the fan poll. And we'll be talking about those people at the very end of this show as well, man. So we appreciate everybody in here. But we got a lot going on around college football, Garrison, that I want to get into, man. Several coaches are fired. You're talking about Trent Dilford at UAB, Oregon State's head coach, Trent Bray, as well, with an 0-7 start. And the biggest news of all is obviously James Franklin. But my question for you and the chat is, who will be the next head coach fired?
Man, that's a great question because I have a few in mind. Like my first thought would be Luke Fickell, but he just signed that new contract, correct? Then I mean I'm trying to think around the Big Ten. I mean, UCLA already got rid of theirs. The next one I could probably think of is I'll say it. I think Sharon Moore's in the hot seat. He just don't know it yet. With that $4 million buyout, man. If the bottom comes from under the program this year, the team this year over there in Ann Arbor, I could see them getting rid of him.
Yeah, I mean that's just the thing. I know a lot of people are talking about the Luke Fickell, but just like you said, that new contract, it makes no sense. There is talks about Billy Napier and there's talks, behind closed doors with the athletic director from Boosters. So, I mean, I think Billy Napier will be the next head coach that will be fired, but will he be the only one? I mean, I'm actually shocked at what's going on. I'm really shocked. I was kind of shocked in what happened at Penn State, but I understand after you follow it up with a loss of UCLA and Northwestern, because not only did it seem like you lost the locker room, for a fact, you lost the fan base. And one thing that the fan base can do that's powerful is stop showing up to games, stop buying tickets, stop buying merchandise, not buying jerseys anymore, things
booing
like
you.
that, booing you. And, that was bad. The fact that he had the awareness, he knew what was coming down the pipe when you send your family ahead of the tunnel so that you could just take everything that was coming at you. That's crazy. But I mean, hey, maybe, he'll be an analyst somewhere, or he'll be talking on Big Noon Kickoff soon.
Yeah.
Take Dave Portnoy's spot.
He should. I think he'd be great television, to be honest. But I actually, I somewhat lean on the side of not Joel Klatt, but Josh Pate on this. I wouldn't have fired him. I do believe James Franklin has earned enough credit to be able to finish out his last season in Pennsylvania, over there in Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, at Penn State. I think it was a rush to a decision that they knew that was going to happen. I think he knew it would have happened at some point in the season, or at least at the end of the season. Is it bad that you lost to the two worst teams in the Big Ten at that time? Yeah. I actually personally believe there should be a new conversation around UCLA. I think they're probably going to finish out on a very high note. And by the time we see them, that game could be interesting. Who knows? Like, I'm not saying they can make it tough for Ohio State, but I'm saying they're playing good football right now. That's all I'm pointing out too. But no, those are bad losses, Northwestern, but he deserved to finish out the season. And the thing is, and what was it, 2018? He talked about from going from good to great, and then from great to elite. That was it. That was his saying, and he never got there. And eventually, and it's a tough business, man. It's a tough business.
That it is. It is a tough business. And you take me into my next point, Garrison, is with these universities firing these coaches, and you have a James Franklin who just a couple years ago you gave an extension to, and now you have a $50 million buyout. Now he does have to look for a job, get a job that's on market and things like that, but it's still a $50 million buyout, and you got to pay whatever that difference is. This is the second highest buyout behind Jimbo Fisher. You have to hit it out the park in your next hire. Because one thing that you could say about Penn State is they was at least that third or fourth team. Now, I also understand, like I said earlier, about, you losing to the UCLAs of the world and Northwesterns of the world. But when you see Indiana doing what they're doing, there's almost no excuse, right?
Right.
I mean, and you're seeing two different style of quarterbacks that they had, and they're still cooking. Whereas the biggest issue that I think that James Franklin never learned from was picking his coaching staff. Yeah, I mean, I honestly just felt that he in the coaching staff, just like it doesn't mix with the players. The offensive play caller, it doesn't mix with the players. It just doesn't. You want to go more pro style, but that's not the offensive coordinator that you want. And like I've said previously, is mixing oil and water, man. But Garrison, this past week, we had several unbeaten teams go down, man. To name a few, relate. You had Oregon, Oklahoma, and Mizzou. Which one was the most surprising for you? Was it Oregon, was it Oklahoma, or was it Mizzou?
Okay, it's like Mike because I'm not necessarily. If I had to pick out of the three, I guess I'm not necessarily surprised of any of the three. But if I had to pick one, it would have to be Indiana, and it's Indiana because if you had to watch the game, man, because it wasn't like the game was close in that second half. Indiana beat they beat the crap out of Oregon. And, Oregon was 30-20. Oregon scores off that pick six from their true freshman. He's playing great this season. But man, I was really impressed by that. And everybody last year or coming into this year too, they talked about how Indiana, last year they had a weak schedule without realizing usually Indiana will go 3-9 or 4-8 with the schedule like that. Instead, they smack teams. Then you go into this year and you're better. I think it's significantly better, especially in the trenches. So, and they're better at quarterback.
Yeah,
I was surprised, man.
Yeah, last week I was telling people that don't think that this Indiana game is going to be like the Ohio State game last year. Do not think that the quarterback is mobile. He knows how to move. I thought that they were better in the trenches. They were better on the defensive line. So to me, that game did not really surprise me all that much because, even though I did pick Oregon to win, I did say, all those good things about Indiana. But the one that surprised me was Oklahoma because I didn't know if the starting quarterback, John Mateer, was going to start. And I felt if he was going to start in that game with their defense and with him as their starting quarterback, that they would be able to do something. They couldn't really run the ball. One thing, the difference, and I kept speaking about that difference in that game was Florida was able to tire Texas defense out. And that's something that Oklahoma was not able to do. And Texas defense was getting off the field, and they were able to stay fresh throughout that game and continue to give their offense time and time again to score. And it just looked like is it crazy for me to say that Texas looked better on offense than Oklahoma?
No, because Texas has a better offensive line than Oklahoma does. Everybody, listen. At some point, Arch was going to figure it out a little bit, and it's not like he played great in that game, but the kid has some talent, and so I'm not surprised. And he's really athletic, so I'm not surprised at all that they won that game. Especially, I thought that Mateer came 2 weeks early. He came back 2 weeks too early, and his hand was bleeding during the game. So I just. Going to that game right before I actually switched my pick right before the game because Texas fan, I can't stand Texas fans. But I originally had Texas winning that game that Saturday morning, and it was just something about that I thought was off. Usually the team that's not supposed to win wins that game oddly. So yeah, and you said the other game, Missouri Alabama. Missouri had a chance, and
they did.
And on that last throw where he threw that pick, and that was a terrible throw from Fabula. That was bad. But that guy, they showed him waving his hands, Mike. I'm like, how did you miss that?
But here's the thing, though. He's only got 1 year of starting quarterback reps. That's the issue. And it's like, if you're talking about a system or if you're talking about a coach who was able to say, hey, let me adjust to my quarterback or have a system that fits my quarterback. The system at Mizzou fits, Bo Pabula. Even I think the system at Penn State also fit him better than it did Drew Aller. But, I mean, what can you say, man? Shout out Bo Pabula being in a game with Alabama. Yeah. I thought that was amazing because – I mean, I don't think that even Drew Aller can say something like that. I mean, the only thing they can say is like, I've been in a close game with Ohio State. But it's like, you knew you were going, like last year, everybody knew Ohio State dominated that game. It did not seem like, other than the pick six, it never seemed like Ohio State was about to lose that game last year.
It's funny because Bo Pabula, he would be better suited for and it's not that I'm saying he's better than Drew. But he would be better suited for that and Andy Kotelnicki offense. So the fact that Andy Kotelnicki's offense is more for a Tim Tebow type of player, a dual threat, a real dual threat quarterback, which Bo is. But yeah, it's his first year starting with Bo's. Is he a sophomore or junior? There's no way he's a senior, so he'll probably have to come.
Hold
He's
on,
gonna come
Bo
back.
Pabula? No,
He's
I
gonna
thought
come
he
back.
had. No, I think that Bo Pabula was.
There's no way he's older than Drew.
I think that he was, bro. I believe so.
No.
Yes. I think it was like literally like the Lincoln King host Julian Sands situation that we have.
Dang, that's tough because. But
Mhm.
I like
now
Bo.
you got me
He's
want to
good.
look it up. Bro, class senior.
So this
Class
is last.
senior. This is
Man.
unless he able to get that 5th-year option. I mean, I don't even know. Did he already have his 5th year? See, the NCAA needs to go ahead and come out with that rule change. Like the fact that they were able to come out with the rule change on the transfer portal without even thinking about it. I mean, that's just crazy to me. Yeah. Let's see. When did he come out? He was the 2022 class. So 2022 season, 23, 24, 25. So if he wants that, yeah, he has to bank.
He doesn't have the COVID season.
Nah.
Oh,
so
yeah, you're right.
he has to bank on the NCAA allowing those red shirts. I don't know if he ever red shirt at Penn State because they always had him as the gadget.
That's tough, Bo. That's tough.
All right, bro. All right, moving on, man. Last week I talked to people about my underrated game of the week, and that was Nebraska at Maryland. And the reason why I told you guys Nebraska was going to win that game was because I did not believe that Maryland was a fourth quarter team. And damn it, who was right? Who came back in the last drive, bring their team down, scored a touchdown. Dylan Ravioli comes down, yeah. And what did I tell you was going to happen? That Maryland's quarterback, his skill guys, the team, the guys around him would fail him. That's exactly what happened, man. The quarterback, I really want to see if he's going to be at Maryland. And if he is at Maryland, I need to know what they're paying him. Garrison.
Bro, there's no way. Like, I would imagine, like, Washington, you got an offensive head coach. He's part of the Saban tree. Yeah, he's part of the Saban tree. I would imagine, man, they gotta pay big amounts to keep him there. Because I don't even think they thought he was gonna be this good coming this year. Like he's really good. But that was a good game, Mike. That was and those are two good teams. I personally think Nebraska should have been ranked about a week or two ago. I think that's a really good team. I think I think like that Nebraska, Washington, and who else might think of? Someone else, but someone else in the Big Ten. I think Maryland could. I think they could beat some of those SEC teams. I think they could.
I mean, like I've been standing on this, and I said this, I believe last year Indiana could have beat Tennessee or whatever, and I still believe that even this season. Tennessee fans will tell me I'm crazy, but I still believe it this season that Indiana can beat it. What up, my guy Don B? We appreciate you.
Don.
Yeah, we see everybody in the chat. We see Asian Posh in the chat. We appreciate you, Queen. We love you. Who else we got in the chat? Oh, the homie Jam is here. So shout out, Jam. We appreciate you. They say, what's up with the stream? Garrison, something going on with the stream?
Not that I know of. That's on.
I'm over here looking on it. It's not really showing on there.
On YouTube? Oh wow, I see that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this stream.
How is that happening?
I have no idea how that is happening. It says that we're live, but then
It
it's
says
like
error,
blacked
right?
out. Yeah. What the heck is going on? No wonder we ain't got nobody watching.
Yeah, that's. Oh, I'm gonna check my phone too.
Let me see if I can. Let me see. Dang. An error occurred. Please try again. Yeah, I have no idea why this is happening at all.
Yeah, mine screen isn't even popping up.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if I could take it. Oh, there we go. It's popping up now. All right, we're back. We are back. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I don't know what was going on, but if you refresh your screen, everything should be good. Jam said hers was fine too. So,
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
yeah. Sorry about that, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see it now. All right.
And with that, man, we are just going to go ahead and get into our sponsorships for the day and take care of that business. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the Voice of College Football. See what our partner, Win Agency, has to say about his sponsorship experience with us right here on screen. Let's discuss how you can reach your target market. Contact us at sponsorships@vocfb.com today. Again, that is sponsorships@vocfb.com.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
All right, we are back, man. We are here to talk about what everybody is wanting to talk about. But before we start talking about, let's go ahead and get into it. The world famous Buckeyes, man. We got to talk about it, Garrison. But to start this segment off, we have to ask you guys a question. And what makes you nervous about the Buckeyes this season? What are your worries? Who are you worried about? But what makes you nervous about the Buckeyes this season, man? Garrison, I'm going to start off with you. You tell me, what makes you nervous about it?
The run game. I would say that. Punting, I'm not as worried about. I know that's been like kind of like the new thing for everybody to be up a little nervous about. I'm not there yet. If Ryan is comfortable with keeping that, that same situation the same as it is, I'm okay with that then. But the run game, I posted about this, Mike, and over the last few weeks here in the Big Ten play, just for certain reasons, of course, but the rushing yards have gone down, I think 146 to 133 to 106, 3 weeks in a row. It has to be better than that. And we did deal with short fields last week, which is I get, but it's not explosive. And maybe that's just Padilla again, his first time in the game. Maybe that's just some of the play calling. Ryan Day said he has been purposely running the ball up the middle, basically, which if he wants to do that, fine. But I would say it's the run game. How about you?
Yeah, I agree with you on the run game. Another one that I'm going to go with, like our homie Jam said in the chat, is the punting game. I'm sitting here watching other schools. I mean, even in the G5, FCS, I'm watching all of these people be able to flip the field, right? And we are not able to. And I believe that that's going to come back and bite us. Yes, our defense is really good. But when we get in those tougher games against better teams, and we're giving them teams a shorter field instead of actually making them have to work and possibly make, like, when you're giving them a shorter field, there's less mistakes that's possibly going to happen. And I don't like that, man. Give our defense is really good, and it's like you really want to give them a chance. And when your punter isn't able to actually flip the field, it makes you a little worried. So yeah, I definitely agree with Jam. And also, you know, he said that we got to see Nick Marty out there once or whatever. I don't remember when that was, but this guy's supposed to be punting out of the stadium. Heck, I want to see it. I don't care if he punts it out of the stadium. If, like, let's say we're punting backed up or whatever on the 20. If he punts it out the stadium, you know what happens? They're on the 20. I don't care. Like, whatever, man. Like,
Right.
let that kid punt if he's doing that. So
yeah, I'm with you, bro. I we had that video before he committed of him punting it 90 yards. Put him in the game.
that's what
I don't if he punts out the stadium, cool. I don't think
Yeah,
many teams can go from the 20 to the 40 on us. So
man, that's my whole thing. If a team is starting on the 20 every time, it's almost like we scored, you know, and then they gotta restart all over again. I'm cool with that. Make them drive the whole 80 yards.
Let me ask you this right here, because I like this from B Vargo. He says, I don't want a 3 running back rotation.
I don't either, but right now you have no choice. Isaiah West got to step up. Turbo got to step up. I believe what hurt him was coming later in the offseason. Maybe we don't have these type of issues and we able to say Bo Jackson and Turbo are 1-2. That would be kind of crazy that those would be 2 freshmen. But, I mean, these young guys got to go. They got to get it together. James Peoples, like I told you guys, in his Illinois game, I wanted to see him start the game the way he had finished against Minnesota. He did not do that. I mean, he does not have it right now. And CJ, man, that when he lowers it, them pads, he's going straight to the ground, bro. Like straight to he could have had a touchdown even sooner, but helmet went straight to the turf, 1 inch short of the goal line.
Mike, it's crazy because he makes guys miss. Like, man, you know what's funny? He's better. I feel like most running backs are better at the initial point of attack because, you know, it's a lot of they just know how to move, navigate, set up their own blocks and all that. And then, well, you know, getting past the second to the third level is the hard part.
Right.
He's terrible at getting past the first level. he's better off in the second and third, maybe because of how big he is. But it's just, you know, like you said, man, his style of running the ball, he's up straight. And then, like you said, if his head goes down, boy, he goes down. So I expect more. I expect more out of this running back room. I really do. I think our young freshman Bo is doing his thing. I think Isaiah West, when he gets the opportunities, he's been doing his thing. But those other two, man, I expect more out of them.
I agree with you. Definitely going to have to get that situation taken care of. One thing that everybody has been talking about, and Ryan Day has talked about this week, is the play calling. Everybody's asking about what's going on with the play calling, and he's telling them we're giving what the defense give us. You know, if Minnesota didn't come out there scared is basically what he said. So we were able to have more explosive plays where if anybody watched the All-22 or the film on the Illinois game, They were not trying to play man like that majority of that game, bro. They were taking away a lot of the deep things. So what does that do?
Mm-hmm.
That forces you to take things under. Now, agreed, that run game, if that run game starts, popping off, then that kind of helps, against that those deep zones and things like that. But that's something that Ohio State's just going to have to get better at. Ryan Day is just saying that they're going to continue to push and push and push until it's fixed. But the right side of the O-line is the weakness in the run game, and they're going to have to build some chemistry, and they're also going to have to figure it
out. I'll say, I've saw, the past, especially today, the past few days, everybody, I think taking what Ryan Day is saying about this offense out of context when it comes to explosive plays, I think Ryan Day knows he can hit those explosives. I'm sure, we've seen these runs early in the season when Brian Hartline calls those orbit motion plays for the run game, and it works out, and the guys go. We've seen them call good run plays that can burst open. And I think Ryan Day already knows that he can have an explosive pass game with Julian Stanley, what we have at wide receiver. But what are you going to do when you got football still play in the trenches, and you still got to learn how to move the ball in tough ways. I think right now, man, and I think people forget, Mike, last year around this time, it wasn't like the offense was humming either. It was not. And I think Ryan Day, he's going to figure things out and work it out because at the end of the season, man, you got to make sure you are a complete team. You can do everything at least well to good. If not good, then great. So I'm okay with it right now. I'm happy with everything I see in this team except for like two things.
Yeah, I agree, man. I here's the thing. One thing that Ryan Day is like, we used to call Ryan Day Lion Day sometimes. And I think that one thing that he has kind of done is be honest with us about where this program is headed. And he said when they extended this, he has an NFL mindset. And if you watch NFL games, this is kind of like that. You're kind of watching an NFL game in college. And I think that people are going to have to start getting used to that. And one thing that you even heard, I'll tell you this, maybe here's a reason why we are being conservative, not showing everything, is Jim Knowles might have been good at some things on defense, right? And Ryan Day was looking forward to that game. And one thing that you heard Drew Aller say about Jim Knowles coming over there was the things, the tendencies that they clocked in on Drew Aller, the different things that they, the tendencies that the defense clocked in about that offense and stuff like that. If that's something that Jim Knowles was leading the charge in and stuff, right? Then it's like, okay, Ryan Day's like, all right, we know how. Let's show Jim Knowles something different, and then when we face him, we're gonna go ahead and do what we need to do. So I just expected our offense to possibly open up later in the season. So I'm not too worried about that. But moving on from there, man, we got a 3:30 kickoff on CBS. Ohio State goes out to take on Wisconsin, man. What do you think about this game, Garrison?
So, first, I've been wanting to say this, Mike, but I'm going to say it here. I think that this is one of those games where we have to be very careful. And when I say be very careful, I'm not going to sit here and suggest that Ohio State's going to win this game 10-7 or 13-10. Okay, but this can be one of those games that every elite Big Ten team has every year, where you overlook them, or you just don't come on right that day. We're all talking about teenagers and young men, college students, and don't let this be a trap game for you. You are a struggling run game. I won't say struggling, but I would say right now an average run game going against one of the better front sevens in college football. I think now, a few games ago, they were giving up 50 yards a game, but of course that's going to change in Big Ten play. I think now they're giving up 90. and they only give up 219 pass yards a game. So you can't let them don't let them force turnovers and get themselves short fields to make this game look closer. Don't let that bull crap happen. Don't get lackadaisical. I would love to see Josh Padilla, start and not come out all game. Like, just put that Tegra thing aside. Put that experiment aside. I would love to see our pass game get going in the first half, run the ball in the second half, get out of there with a good win. But and I'll tell you what. I mean, I saw this right before we got on, Mike. No, I'm sorry. I think you talked about it. I mean, you got to have Quincy Porter and Mylan Graham need to step up. We've only seen three receivers really. We've only seen two receivers really show something so far this season. But I think behind those two outside guys, those guys got to show something, because we're getting deep into the season now. So whether they got to get better at blocking, whether they got to know more play calls, I have nothing to say about the defense, Mike. Maybe you do. I just trust them. Blind trust, but yeah, that's all I need. That's what I want to see out of this game. But I think we blinked them though.
I believe that we put belt to. I believe that we put belt to them. In the chat, you guys let me know what are your score predictions. In the chat, please let me know. I think that, Ohio State comes in as what's this, a 25.5 favorite in this game, Garrison. Yeah, I think Ohio State covers, man. I see people putting in the chat 52-0, 45-0. 45-0 doesn't sound bad. I'm going to say 52-0 just because of the way that Ohio State likes to be. I don't believe that Luke Fickell is going to allow us to he's not going to try to play man against us, I don't believe.
No.
And yeah, he's not going to want this game to be ran up. And one thing that he is basically going to do is play complementary football. He doesn't have – we talk about our rushing game. They don't have a rushing game. They don't have a passing game. They have no offense. They have no identity on offense. I could see us, again, as Ryan Day said in his press conference, that they had started emphasizing in practice turnovers. What did you end up seeing in the game? So what they're emphasizing in practice is starting to translate.
Something that you called out in the offseason.
Yeah. That we would see more turnovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
I talked about that Monday. I brought you up in that, actually. That was something that I tied myself to you on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just something like Ryan Day said that they was working on. But also, like you said, this could be, a game that Ohio State needs to be focused on. And I think that the way that they played and let off the gas at the end of the Illinois game is great, where these guys are going to be focused, locked in, going into this game against Wisconsin, because Ryan Day, as you heard in his press conference earlier this week yesterday on Tuesday, he was basically saying, whatever you saw in any other games, I'm not trying to hear it. We've seen the way they played Bama. They had a close game against Bama, I believe, this year, half until
they couldn't run the ball on them.
Yeah, until they just ran away with the game, right? So this in big game, this Wisconsin team can show some fight. So it's not the type of team that you want to sleep on. So I'm very excited for this game, for the Buckeyes to go into this. They will be going into a bye week. Everybody's putting their score predictions in there. What did I say? I say 42-0. They go ahead and get another shutout to go ahead and bring that points per game back.
Yeah, get close to that Georgia number.
Let's bring it back down. So what else do
Let me ask you about this, Mike. Do you think, because I feel like I've seen Ryan Day do this before. I think I've seen Urban do this before, even Jim Tressel, where they go against old Ohio State guys, and when they know they can put it on them, they just don't.
Say it again.
Like have you ever noticed, and maybe I'm just crazy with this, but I feel like I've seen Jim Tressel, Urban Meyer, and Ryan Day maybe a couple times, where when they're going against Buckeyes, like a Luke Fickell or Mark D'Antonio, when they know they can put it on them and they choose not to.
Yeah.
I could see that happening in a game like this.
I mean, and to be honest, I just feel like Ryan Day is the type. He has a lot of respect. He's so sportsmanship, and where I feel like there's been plenty of times where we had a CJ Stroud on the bench. We didn't even let that boy throw. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's insane. And I think that he does this because of the respect that he has. Because you're not worried about your backup getting hurt. You're not worried about the third or fourth string. It's the respect that he has among the coaches. You also heard him speak about the James Franklin firing as well, which was shocking. But I'll tell you this, one thing that I could tell from that press conference from Ryan Day, he got very excited talking about something that me and you had talked about this offseason and tried to caution people about. When everybody was screaming, portal, 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 portal for defensive tackles, and we were saying maybe that was a call for Ryan Day, that was a call to the team, and for them to get their stuff together. And it looks like it lit a fire out of them because, like we've said, every week Tywone Malone is getting better. And Ryan Day said it looks like his confidence is getting better. And you could see that the effort, he kept saying the effort is there as well. So how do you feel about Tywone Malone?
Well, before I get to Taiwan, though, I want to read these numbers off to you, okay? And I'm always going to say this first. You take PFF with a grain of salt, okay? This is last Saturday. McDonald 86.4, Curry 78.9, Jason Moore 74.4, Will Smith Jr. 71, Jackson Jr. 66, Malone 63.1. But I thought Malone is the second best defensive tackle on this team. He is. He's better than Edric right now. He is. And I'm okay with that. Edric is a true sophomore. He's a true sophomore, and Malone's been around the bend. But I'm excited to see it, man, because he's one of those, he's one of those other big 300-pounders on our team. Isn't he a Georgia boy? Or is he not? He's from the South, isn't he? He is from the South. I can't remember where he's from. But I know Caden and Edric are. But
he a New Jersey dude.
Oh, yeah. I like New Jersey players.
Jamesburg, New Jersey.
Yeah, I like New Jersey players. Those boys are built different over there. But I think Malone has been awesome. You can see that he's coming into his own. Coming to Ohio State. You looked at his size, Mike, when Larry Johnson got him out the transfer portal from Ole Miss, and you could see the potential there, and it's finally starting to show. And I think he's going to be awesome for the rest of the season. And I think the same thing about everybody else in there. We could talk about Will Smith Jr. this defensive tackle room, like it was overblown. The concerns are overblown. I think you are right that Ryan Day lit a fire under them, and because we talked about this because if and I think Ryan Day said this. If he could have gotten people out the portal, but he didn't see anyone as good as the guys he had in the room.
Facts.
Shout out to our guy Juck. He famously says about me that I walked Ryan Day to the fire, and I'm so happy I did. I trust everything he does. He can tell me walk off a bridge, and I would do it and trust him. It's like everything he does, man. He doesn't sit up there and lie to you. So
Don B is cooking you, bro.
I didn't even look. It's okay.
Don was doing this during the post game.
Don knows he's my man. He knows he's my man. I'll get the jokes off. I'm trying to talk football right now.
Oh man!
I actually didn't even see what he was saying. Shout out to Don B though.
Yeah, and shout out our guy Johnny in the chat, man. We appreciate Johnny, man.
Yeah, wait, Johnny. What do you mean calm down? Because you were one of the same people that were telling me that our defensive tackle wasn't going to be as good as yours. We know that's a lie. Rayshon Benny wouldn't even start at Ohio State right now. That's a fact. Neither one of your linebackers will start for us right now. That's a fact.
That's definitely a fact.
And
Yeah, I
Rob Moore
co-sign
plays it.
that. The
And Rob Moore, I'm
linebackers.
gonna be honest. And Rob Moore plays the same position as Caleb Downs. So tell me where a Wolverine defensive player starts at Ohio State. TJ Guy is a Jag.
I mean,
I already did this. I already did this.
Bro,
rant.
this is what we've talked about, and what I told everybody. I said by the middle of the year.
I would have welcomed this Ryan Day.
By the middle of the year, I told you guys preseason. By the middle of the year, you will start seeing the depth of this team. When the games got played, and then he was like, man, we wasn't really rotating that D tackle or whatever. And I said, Matt Patricia will have multiple defenses that will allow us to get these guys ready. And by the middle of the season, you will start seeing that depth. What are you seeing? Somebody that hasn't been mentioned that we've been waiting to come on for a long time. Jason Moore.
Man.
In that previous game against Illinois, he made key plays, multiple key plays.
And Caleb Downs messed it up.
Right. Exactly. Hitting the guys forward. But I mean, shout out to that defensive line. We do have depth there now. So the biggest issue right now is the right side of the offensive line, and they just got to get that shored up.
Hey, remind me to clip this up for you so you can see this, Mike. It's 8 minutes of straight smashing them over the head. It was great. It was great. I got to send that to you.
I don't know why I'm worried about my blood pressure. Maybe acting like why do I worry about Mike's blood pressure when Garrison gets mad all the time? Exactly. I don't know why y'all were. I am young. I am 35 years young. Right. I am not old.
No,
I am 35 years young.
Oh no, yeah,
these grades is nothing but wisdom. That's it. I
know exactly what she means.
Flag football. I play flag football every Saturday, Garrison.
Oh, Mike. Oh yeah. Not me. I sit my happy tail down, man. But
he's younger than me. I'm out here getting active.
And Mike, it was funny about what Jam just said. Like you could tell I had been waiting to get to this because you could see my veins coming out of my neck, talking like just going over. Man, I was mad. I can't stand that fan. I can't stand them. And you know me, Mike. Sometimes I'll just say the word. Now I'm just like I'm on a T-ton, man. Forget y'all.
Yeah. Shout out our guy Rex.
So Rex.
X. Everybody watching on X, make sure that you hit that repost button or whatever so that everybody can go ahead and see that we are live, man. We got some more to talk about, man. But Garrison, there is something that I wanted to talk to you about as we go into our next segment. The Buckeyes versus the rest. Which team scare you playing the Buckeyes? In chat, let me know. What team would you be worried about if Ohio State lined up against them? Which team?
There's only one, and I think both fan bases are itching for this to happen. I think we need this to happen, and I think if you want to see college like good old fashioned football hate from different conferences happen, it's Miami, and it's because you look at their team. I think that it's the best, offensively and defensively, it's the best trench play in the nation. Both are. I think. I hate bigging them up. I hate talking good about them so much. I think both their O-line and D-line are the best in the country. I think their secondary is okay, but it has talent. They got those young wide receivers over there, and then I think, they got that run game. Shout out to Mark Fletcher. Wish you were a Buckeye. Could really use you right now. But then, Mike, you look at the quarterback position, and I think that Carson Beck has gotten weird hate for no reason over the past couple of years. Where if you look at that first season he started, he set the world on fire. Then the next year, your wide receiver room leads the nation in drop passes. Everybody wants to kick you out for Big Head Boyd over there in Georgia now, and now you're on one of the best teams in the country. It would definitely be them, and then possibly Indiana.
Yeah.
How about you?
For me, I was gonna say Texas Tech, and the only reason being is because I would be worried about our players not because we haven't played at Texas Tech, and it's like when you think about it, it's Big 12 is just what the Big 12 brand is. There's not much really respect around that conference, right? So my worry would be is like
Rex.
Texas Tech hasn't. Hey, yeah, Rex was cracking me up, man. But that would be my worry, like mentally for the us having a young team would be that Texas Tech. Another team is Alabama. You have some guys there where you're talking about blue chip ratio. Ohio State and Alabama are, comparable right there. Now, I believe in our defense, but if Jam Miller is healthy, he's a really good running back. It's hard for him to really get the running game going without him. But if they have him, yeah, that would make me nervous if they were able to sustain drives with Jam Miller. Also, I want to see our defensive backs be tested more on a consistent basis. And that would also worry me. Like, we go up against a team who can actually sling the ball, and we haven't had that many reps at that spot, especially with our guys like Devin Sanchez being young. I need him to get more reps so that he can see more things, so that way, like he even said, every rep, whether it was a win, a loss, or whatever, it's really a win because now I can go on film, I can look at it, and I can get better and work on the things that I need to work on. So that's what I just need the Buckeyes get more reps, like you were saying about earlier.
Mike, this comment right here, this is why I didn't think about this, and this is a good point to me if we were to face them, because our defense is really athletic. It's really athletic. Like, now, do we have some big boys in the team? Yeah, but we have really rangy, long, athletic guys like to hit. This is the one. Like, this would be the one thing I would love to see our defense do is like a big team, because Miami's a big team. Like, even the running backs are pretty big.
Yeah, they have, I think, one of the biggest offensive lines in I think they have one of the biggest offensive lines in college football. So yeah, maybe I would be worried, but I'll say like defensive, like their defensive wise, like yeah, you'd have to probably, well, not probably, you'd have to worry about Ruben Bain. They got some guys at defensive tackle as well who can make plays. But we're really good in pass pro, so I wouldn't be worried about our guys just getting beat over and over in pass pro. I guess the biggest thing that I'd be worried about is will we be able to run the ball on them, and would that be an issue? Maybe in the red zone.
Maybe.
But like I said, I just believe Ryan Day is calling the games the way he's calling them for a specific reason. Quick question that I wanted to ask you as well. Before we get to that question, make sure that you hit our shop for all your team gear at vocfb.com/shop. Again, that is vocfb.com/shop for your team's gear. Make sure y'all check that out. But the question I wanted to ask you right now, in college football, who has the worst loss to you?
I guess I can't say Penn State anymore because they a bottom feeder too. Or else I would say Penn State's lost to Northwestern. I would say that, or UCLA, but they're right down there with them, or actually below them now. Actually, I think about it. No, I think it has to be Penn State against. I'm going to add it in the UCLA and Northwestern games. I'm going to add them together, Mike, because that was. Those are arguably the two worst teams in Power 4 at that time. Arguably. And for you to start the season number 2 in the country with all that returning production, a quarterback who, like, people want to hate on, but Drew Allen is going to get drafted in probably the first 2 rounds. You got one of the best running back tandems in college football. And you just fired your coach. That I think that it has to be that because of the aftermath of, and then Drew Aller gets hurt for the season. Like that's I've never seen a season get turned up on its head like that. I've never seen that.
So mine's is going to be, I would say Alabama's loss to Florida State because of what you see. Florida State just continuously not being able. They have not won, other than what the Bama game. They haven't won a P4 game or a conference game yet. You know?
That's crazy.
I mean, you could say the same thing about Penn State. That doesn't even have a P4 win at all. So, I mean, I agree with you on that. But if Billy Napier gets fired, it could also be Texas. It could also be Texas having that loss, because I believe if he gets fired, that team will implode.
Do you think it would be bad for Florida to fire him?
No, I think that it would be well overdue. I think my thing about this is I think that they should have fired him before the whole revenue stuff, because like I said, if these teams don't hit on their next hires, how do you explain this to boosters? Mm-hmm. You need money for kids. Now you need money for coaches. And then what if the coach don't pan out? You need we got to fire another coach, and I got to pay that coach on top of a new coach you want to bring in too? Like, these boosters are going to be wore thin, and you could really see some of these teams that you have known or grew up watching who used to win championships or used to be a 10-2 team end up turning into the Northwesterns of the world. Or, I mean, not saying that they're going to be like the Northwesterns, but they could be down, where Texas was down for a long time. You could end up being that type of program, where USC has been down. You can end up being that type of program. Like, I think that you got to be careful. That's the thing about Penn State, man.
If you listen, I think that, I understand the fact that a lot of Penn State fans, I can't begrudge a fan or institution or program or athletic department wanting their football program to be better. But I also you still got to realize where you are. And if you think coaches as good as James Franklin just fall off of trees, you're wrong. That doesn't that doesn't just happen. And again, if you're Billy Napier, man, I mean, if you're Florida, you gotta think about that. It's also because Billy still recruits very, very well. He's just not winning.
Here was the smartest play for Penn State to do. Instead of trying to spend any part of that $50 million, whether he gets another job or whatever, you could have took $10 million of that, got a general manager, and said, I believe in James, but he needs help finding the right coaches.
Yes.
You just save yourself a roster. You just saved yourself a recruiting staff, and you just saved yourself on return on investment. But, hey, they don't pay me the $1 million thing. What I'm saying? They don't pay me.
Hey, Mike, I didn't think about this one. So Daniel, he says probably Illinois losing by 50. He said they would have had held over their head even at 10-2. Yeah, that's because they're probably going to finish 10-2. Illinois is probably going to finish 10-2. And that loss, man. Well, actually, no, wait. Yeah, they beat USC.
Yeah, it ain't gonna get
Illinois can beat some SEC. They could beat some SEC teams too.
I mean, they beat South Carolina already in this calendar year. So
weird hate for some of these Big Ten teams, man. Weird hate.
Yeah. So before we get out of here, I always give you all my underrated game of the week, and I'm going to ask Garrison what he thinks about it. Now we have top games. We have our top games. You have Ole Miss going to Georgia, 3:30 kickoff on CBS. Believe that's going to be a good game, but I have worries about Ole Miss's defense. So good defenses, great defenses travel like Ohio State.
Right.
Ole Miss is going to be on the road. Tennessee at Bama, 7:30 kickoff at ABC. That's going to be an interesting rivalry game as well. But like I said, my underrated game of the week is Washington at the team up north. The thing that Washington has needed to work on, especially throughout this bye, is getting their offense going in the first half. One thing that you saw USC be able to do is get out early in front of the team up north and make them play from behind, which they aren't built to. If Washington can get an early lead, this could be a very sneaky game. The biggest issue that I have with Washington possibly getting an upset in this game is their defense.
So I tweeted about this game earlier because I thought JD Pickle said one of the dumbest things. He said he picked the Wolverines to win because they just have to win this. He said they simply have to win this game, as if Washington doesn't have to play Teton still play Oregon. I think they have Illinois. Some tough teams there. So I think it's a very interesting game. I think it's one of the more underrated games of the week, as you said here. Washington, I want to see if they can. I think USC is proving they can play Big Ten football. I want to see if Washington can. Now, I think what they have in their favor is that the Wolverines are one of the worst tackling teams in college football. They missed 14 tackles last week against USC, and you got Jonah Coleman and the fastest quarterback in the country, and Damon Williams Jr. And they also, the Wolverines secondary has struggled. They have Denzel Boston, one of the top 10 wide receivers in the country. Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
He's definitely one of the top wide receivers in the country for sure.
And
he definitely had himself a game, but they got to get him going. That's the thing. Like all this bye week, they should have been working on getting him in the open field early. Also getting their running back in the open field early as well, because like you said, a team that has issues with tackling, you want to get your playmakers. Also, that freshman Roebuck as well. Get him out there.
He came on against us, man. He played well against us.
Yeah, we shut Boston down. I think that Matt Patricia was basically saying, we'll let the little kid eat as long as Boston doesn't feast, we'll be fine. Which was great game plan. But it's all about my biggest issue with Washington all season is just the way like they had to come back being down over 20 points from Maryland. They were able to come back, but if you get down like that against the team up north, that can be scary. So this is, like I said, it's my underrated game of the week. I know people don't.
By the way,
watch it.
Justice Hayes he's listed as questionable right now.
Yeah, which you saw that offense. He has had an explosive run in every single game that they have played.
At least 65.
Every single, whether they won it or lost it, he's had an expensive run. Except for last game, there was no explosive run, and then he got hurt. So that's something that could really be hurting him, because that's a playmaker that they're counting on. You see, Marsh is coming on. He continues to make some good plays week after week.
He's getting better.
Yeah, and the other wide receiver they have, number 1, McCulley, as well. So
Marsh on the true freshman, Marsh hit 140 yards last game.
Yeah, that's why I said he's coming on, like, dude, and he makes some really big catches as well. But that McCulley guy is supposed to be their wide receiver 1. If they could keep that going, let's see.
He's 6'5".
Yeah, let's see how Underwood and these receivers could go. But somebody did point this out. They said it seems like Underwood throws better off platform than he does just sitting in the pocket.
He's not good in the pocket. He's not. And
Washington should be playing contained.
Yes,
but
and
I think the issue with Ryan Waters is he's gonna be too dumb to do that and go all out blitz, zero blitz.
Probably so. Probably so. I think that if the Wolverines if what's his name? I'm gonna call him Don Brown, Dr. Blitz. What's his name? Wink Martindale. If he's smart, he will watch the Ohio State game plan and see that we did not blitz. We did not blitz. Our defensive ends didn't bull rush unless they really needed to. We let him sit out there contained, and then I don't know if they have an athlete like Arvell, but when you can do that, have a guy that runs with Damon Williams, he won't get away.
Yeah. I think they do have some guys that can run sideline.
His floor is Milrow.
I mean, to be honest, I think that's pretty good.
It's
I
clear.
think that's pretty good. But again, man, before we get out of here, we appreciate everybody for joining again. Make sure you hit that like button and that share button as well. Be tuning in to our social medias because there will be some announcements coming out. You might hear the announcements this Saturday after the game, but myself and Garrison is going to be working on some stuff for this channel. So be tuning in for that. So Garrison, let the people know where they can find you for these announcements.
Look, everybody, you can find me on X at Buckeye_Gaddy. That's like daddy with a G. Not to be confused. You can catch me on every Monday and every Thursday at 7 p.m. for the Ohio State Primetime Show and the call-in show. And then, we got some more news coming for you guys. You want to do it on Saturday after the post game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, after the post game. So be tuned in for the post game for that news. We'll let you guys know. Y'all will be the first ones to know, and then right after the post game, we'll tweet it out. So
and Mike, appreciate you having me on, man, with you today. It was fun, man. I had the day off. I was like, I texted you and I said, hey, man, I'm free tonight. Yeah. I'm happy I was able to come on here with you, bro. Appreciate it.
Glad you're here and looking forward to doing more stuff like this with you as well. Again, we appreciate everybody, and with that, we are out of here.
World famous Ohio State Buckeyes.
We might be in a situation where we have a superstar coach on our hands, kind of like how we did with Brian Hartline